Hi, my name is Lee, and I'm going to show you how to get started as quickly as possible with our software. So I'm going to show you three things in this video. First, how to create your first client. Then, how to import their credit report. And finally, how to create a dispute letter for that client based off of the credit report that you imported. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is click on Clients in the left-hand main navigation panel. Click on this big button that says click here to create your first client. And I'm just going to give this client a first and a last name for now. And that's all I'm going to enter. I'm going to scroll down and hit the Create Client button. Now that client has been created. So there's three tabs at the top of the client profile. And you can always tell which client profile you're in by looking at the name in the top left corner. So this is where you're going to see this client's credit report. We haven't imported it yet, so it's not here. This tab is going to be where you're going to manage all of this client's disputes and their letters. And this third tab is going to be the client information, where you can fill in all of the information that I skipped over when I first created this client. So the very first thing I'm going to do is show you how to import this client's credit report. We support importing credit reports directly from Identity IQ. It's a very popular credit monitoring service and it works very well. So anytime you get a new client, you're going to instruct them to get an account at Identity IQ. Now, if you want to see a sample of what a credit report looks like when you import it, you can just enter in demo, demo, and demo here. This isn't an actual account on Identity IQ, but this is going to give you an idea of what a credit report is going to look like after you import it. If you want to import your own credit report from Identity IQ, you can do that too. Or you can just use these demo credentials to see a sample credit report. In real life, your client is going to have an actual username and a password for Identity IQ, but for the purposes of this video, we're just going to use the demo account. So I'm going to hit Save Client, and as soon as you go back to the Credit Report tab, it's going to start importing. Now, while I wait for that, I'm going to go back to the Client Information tab, and I'm going to enter in some address details. And I'm just going to put in some fake information here. I'll put in, you can skip the phone, skip the email. We'll give them a birthday. And that's it for now. We're going to hit Save Client again. And we're going to go back to the Credit Report tab. Looks like this is almost finished importing. Okay, and now you can see that this credit report has finished importing. And at a glance, you can see all of their accounts. There's a lot on here, so I'm not going to scroll through all of them. You can also see all of the collection accounts, the charge-offs, late accounts, which just means any account that has a late payment on it, and the client's inquiries. Now, this is just going to be for your convenience of viewing. When it comes time to create a dispute, we're going to go over to the Disputes tab. But you can already see that importing this credit report was simple. It doesn't get any easier than that. All you do is enter your client's credentials in and go to the Credit Report tab. And it's done. So next, we're going to create a dispute for this client. So I'm going to click on this button here that says New Dispute. Every time you create a new dispute, you're going to be able to choose between collections, inquiries, late payments, or charge-offs. So for this video, we're just going to choose collections. And here you're going to see a list of all the collection accounts on this client's credit report. Now notice that some of these boxes for the bureaus are grayed out. The ones that are grayed out just mean that this account isn't reported at that bureau. So for Experian, for example, this first account, it's only being reported at TransUnion and Equifax. That's why it's grayed out for Experian. So let's just choose 3 accounts here. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of what happens when you select a reason here. I'm just going to leave this set on default for now. I'm going to go over the details of that in a later video. For now, let's just create these disputes. So we're going to click Next Step, and we're going to click Create Disputes Now. Okay, so now you can see that a number of letters have been created, and let's take a look at what some of these are. You can see the first one at the top is addressed to TransUnion, and it's called the Collection Round 1 Bureau Letter. This just refers to the template that was used to generate this letter. So let's take a look at what's on it. You can see that today's date is at the top, The client information has been pre-populated, such as their name, address, social security number, and date of birth. The address for TransUnion is on this letter, and the contents of this letter come from our default template. All of our default templates can be replaced by your own custom templates. We're going to go over that in a later video. For now, we're just going to take a look at the defaults. And you can see that all three accounts from TransUnion are listed on this letter. This is the basic anatomy of a dispute letter. We have many different templates that come in many different forms. This is just the template for a collection letter. With every letter, you have the option of appending client documents, such as the address verification document or the identity verification document. You can upload other attachments to each letter. And let's take a look at some of these other letters. You can see there's also an Equifax and an Experian letter. These are going to look almost the same as the TransUnion letter, except this one is addressed to Equifax, and it only has the account that was listed at Equifax. Same with the Experian letter. It's addressed to Experian, but it only has the account that was listed with Experian. Since we created 3 disputes with 3 separate collectors, we also generated a letter for each of those collectors directly. This is a slightly different letter template. This letter template is designed to be sent directly to a collector, and you can see that the address for this collector is already populated into this letter. That means you don't have to go and hunt down addresses on your own. We provide that information for you, and it comes directly from the credit report and gets matched up with each company on the credit report. You can see that the account number is also listed here, and that's about it for this letter. Every time you create a new dispute, it's going to automatically choose the letter based off of the type of account it is. For example, if it's a collection versus a late payment versus a charge-off. And it's also sometimes going to depend on what you choose for the reason. We're going to go over how you can customize all of that information in a later video, but this gives you the basics of how to create letters. In our next video, we're going to go much more in depth with this dispute manager. We're going to show you what to do when you're ready to send the letters and what to do when you receive a response so that you can send out your round 2, 3, 4, and so on letters. So at this point, you can take a little break, create a new client. If you want to import a sample credit report, just use these demo credentials. And then once you're done, go ahead and watch the next video where we go more in depth with the dispute manager. Okay, thanks.